We're day drinking. We're day drinking. We're day drinking. Day drinking.
Welcome to Day Drinking. This is kind
We're
of a
day drinking.
spin-off episode thing, sister thing of our normal podcast format where we talk about whatever the hell we want to, mainly because people bailed on us. And that's going to be kind of the theme. No, it's not. But we do start off every podcast by asking Andrew Mellis, what are you drinking?
I am going with my classic tequila soda.
Out of a plastic cup?
Yeah, I had it already. Didn't want to recycle it quite yet. So,
That's fair.
Danny, what are you drinking?
Well, I just got off work, so I'm drinking a smoothie.
"Quote unquote" got off work.
Work.
Yeah, Danny doesn't actually.
You got off your work? That's gross.
I'm in between drinks right now.
You're married.
I haven't had a chance to end my day, go to
What
a place
would
to
Brittany
procure
say?
said drink, which would be Brittany and I went to we go to this like wine spot once a week for like dates. But on Mondays, because half off bottles, and so we have leftover white wine. So
Nobody cares.
what I'm gonna be drinking. Travis,
Cute
what
and
are you drinking?
disgusting.
It's day drinking, so I'm drinking Sweetwater's Day Trip IPA. Haven't finished that 12-pack that I bought a while back. And then I'll be switching over to the Old Forester because I only brought up one beer with me. So we'll be switching, even though this is beer 3. But I started drinking at we'll say 6:30. So I've had just a little buzz. I've 3 beers
That's
2
about where I
hours.
am.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad. Well, so as stated, we don't really have anything to talk about formally. I know Drew and I have an idea that we might want to try on this, but is there anything else we need to talk about before we get into said idea?
I do have one. What is your go-to like drunk munchies snack of like I've had alcohol and there's nothing in my stomach. I just need to put something in my body right now. And that moment where you're like, I can't stop eating this because it's so good.
Chips and salsa, just the classic.
That's definitely up there.
Mm-hmm.
Cholula makes. Did you know? Like, have you ever had the Cholula salsa? So, like the hot sauce, they make their own salsa.
I don't know. I haven't had that.
Cholula, like hot sauce, is like I don't know. It's like a Mexican-based hot sauce, and it's so good.
I know Cholula is. I haven't had their salsa.
They have a salsa. It's literally the best salsa. I've spent 35 years looking for a good the salsa. It is the salsa. So just noting, you need to try that salsa.
I'll have to try that. It's weird as a parent and as someone who tries to be unsuccessfully health conscious. My drunken snack is kind of whatever I can scrape together without waking up the family. Like I try not to use the microwave or the toaster, so it's like okay, so I have to try not to cook. So sometimes it's like a bagel. Sometimes it's just a frozen waffle. Sometimes it's frozen Eggos.
Wait.
Yeah, just
What?
out of the freezer into my mouth. It's a thing I do.
Yeah.
They know.
He also does that with the
Pizza rolls.
pizza
and
rolls.
and tater tots.
The tater tots I take
Questions
exception
for
to.
another time. Okay, but generally speaking, low decibel level snacks is what
Low,
you-
obviously,
It's all
any
about
of the kids'
sound.
snacks.
Sound quality, and
Yeah.
if he opens a bag and somebody hears it.
Yeah. So we're talking about like yogurts and things like that. Okay.
Yeah, not always yogurt. I'm not gonna reach for a yogurt. I'm gonna reach for something a little bit more guilty pleasure.
Mhm.
If I'm drunk, I'm gonna reach for something a little bit more guilty pleasure. But I think if we have it, chips and salsa is a good one. What about you, Drew?
I've been on this kick, especially in winter time, where like I'm making a lot of chili, and I have a bag of Fritos, but I don't want to really like get the chili out if there's no prep involved. So I get the Fritos, and then just have the cheese and the hot sauce, and like put some cheese in the scoop with a little bit of hot sauce in there and just snack on
Hmm.
that. So you like kind of have to build it, but you just get into this rhythm of eating it so much. That's maybe my go-to at the moment. But chips and cheese dip, especially the ones that you buy in the grocery store where you can just like
They're always liquid.
it's liquid cheese and you can just heat that up in the microwave.
Yep.
That's my go-to. I just want to satiate myself on that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Literally tonight it's been animal crackers. So
Mm,
again, whatever is kind of available is my
yeah.
go-to at this point in my life.
I'll grab when I'm on the way home from work if I like stop at the
Ugh.
brewery to do my end of day stuff. We've always got like Cheez Its and Chex Mix and
Mhm.
Goldfish. So those are like my if I need a snack on the way home, I can easily open that up and put that in my mouth as I'm driving.
Yeah, Chex Mix, like OG Chex Mix is one of my favorite things. Not like as a top tier best thing ever, but like as a I need to have this, and then I finish the entire bag.
There are parts of I Chex Mix is controversial to me because there's parts of it that I don't like, but they're especially like the rye crisps.
Hmm. Yeah, those are not the
The
best.
no, those are my favorite.
Oh, those are not my favorite.
Oh, I love that's the best part of the Chex Mix to me is the rye crisp.
The dark brown ones?
Yeah,
No, those
and then
are
the actual checks themselves, and then everything else can kind of fuck off.
yeah. I just it's one I we talked about it on this podcast a bunch of times, but I have a problem of once you pop, you can't stop. So if I and Chex Mix is one of those things where if I open the large family size bag, there's a good chance I might finish it.
Mhm.
So
I the OG is not my favorite, but when you get into like the flavored ones, like they have the nacho flavor
mhm.
or that type of thing, anything with powdered flavoring, you can be sure that I'm gonna
So you're
finish
saying you
the
like
whole bag.
powders. What other powders do you like, Drew?
Is that a leading segue
I'm
or
leading the question. I'm leading the witness into saying, trying to say that you like cocaine.
not in a long time, Travis?
That's fair. I feel like there's another snack I had recently that I was like, I didn't. My brain's all mushy tonight.
I do like the occasional like bag of grapes or just something I can like eat like a carton of pineapple,
Hmm.
like the fruit because it
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
me feel a little more health conscious
sure.
and it fills me up.
I like to put frozen blueberries into my yogurt.
Ooh, bold move.
Yeah.
If we're going into the realm of like I'm gonna take 10 minutes to actually prepare something, basic ass bitch ramen
Hmm. Oh yeah.
is the still to this day like the greatest. I can eat the ramen, have the noodles, and then drink the leftover liquid.
Hmm.
That's my favorite. Like go to takes about 5-10 minutes to actually
Yep.
make.
If I'm prepping, if I don't have to worry about decibels and I'm prepping and I have the ingredients, I'm doing a I'll take like 10 to 12 tater tots. I'll stick them in a frying pan, get them hot. And then at some point when they're almost done, I'll throw some scrambled eggs in there and some cheese to kind of like bind them together as one patty.
Oh yeah.
And so then when it comes out, it's just like one cohesive thing, and it's real good.
Hmm. Hmm. I do like the last minute nachos
Just
of
throw
like
chips in the
I
microwave with
have
some
I
cheese.
have chips, cheese, maybe some like chicken left over
Hmm.
or like a can of beans, and that's just put it in the microwave and it's phenomenal.
Bro, the kids and I had SpaghettiOs last night. Still slaps. Still great.
Anything Chef Boyardee is
And can I tell
the
you,
OG chef.
I made theirs and I didn't put anything in it because I was just like, here, eat this. And they loved it. I was like, let me try to get a little, let's see if I can doctor mine up a little bit. Let's see if I can, I know what SpaghettiOs taste like. Let's see if I can make it better. So I added like Parmesan cheese and I added like some red pepper. It made it worse. I was
Mm.
so mad that I like ruined my SpaghettiO. I didn't ruin, I still ate it. But like, I was like, it was
Travis, that is
better.
a time tested
No,
recipe.
I'm gonna make a bougie SpaghettiOs. That's my new goal. Is just like how do I make this better?
Make
I don't
SpaghettiOs from scratch. I'm here for that. I
No, I'm
would
not
do
making
that
it
with
from
you.
scratch. I'm enhancing the already existing spaghetti because
But
SpaghettiOs from scratch.
you do an A and B, like do the
Yeah,
or no, you do an ABC, you do an A OG SpaghettiOs, then a B enhanced version of SpaghettiOs, and then a from scratch SpaghettiOs, and see which one is better.
here's the thing though. I'm not going to make the individual O's from scratch.
I don't think they necessarily need to be O's, but like the idea of
Some overly processed. Uh,
something
yeah,
smothered in sauce to the point where they've been sitting in it for probably like 4 to 6 months in a warehouse somewhere.
yeah, fermenting. Maybe just a little bit. Yeah, still slapped. And that's one of those things again. I know I'm weird. I'll eat that right out of the can. I don't need to heat it up if I don't need, it's whatever. It's good. Danny's shaking his head. He's disgusted at the thought of even his French is showing so hard right now. Just does
Eat
not.
food at the temperatures they're made to be eaten. It's not
Why?
hard.
Oh, just
Why?
open up the can and I'll put a spoon in it.
Spoon in there? Give me, yeah.
That
Especially
should be a top.
the ones with meatballs. Ugh.
I'm not saying I don't like the meatballs. I was a hot dog fan more than the meatballs.
Hot dog, anything. Hot dogs and macaroni, like hot dogs and Easy Mac.
Hmm.
To this day, if we're going back to like if I have a little bit of prep time,
Hmm.
Easy Mac is easily on that list. And if
Yeah.
you add some hot dogs in that to bring out the flavors.
Um, what else? What else we got? What else is going on in the world? I took down a tree yesterday.
Oh yeah, in your backyard.
Yeah, over the winter, one of the trees decided that it was too cold outside and it was too windy, so it just snapped in half. And so I had to get the chainsaw to cut the other half out down. But I was like, while I'm out here, let me take one of these other like I'll say medium-sized trees down because I already have the chainsaw out. And so I was able to timber that bitch down, and I'm in the process of cutting them up. And I'm glad I did the one that I brought down, and it was quote complete. I'm glad I brought it down because when I was cutting through it to cut it into to manageable pieces, that's somewhere about halfway up that tree, it was hollow. So something had been using it as a nest or whatever, and it was a prime candidate to also snap in half at some point. So it was 90%, like it was still alive at the top in theory. Like some parts of it were still alive, but the next storm could have brought that one down. So I'm glad I brought that one down. And that has been fueling and satiating my masculine energy for the last 2 days. So
Mm, so manly.
very manly. I mean, my it's a little emasculating when say that my chainsaw is an electric Ryobi one, so it goes versus the actual like gas powered ones, but it gets the job done, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. So, and no one got hurt. But with that, I'm gonna jump into what we kind of talked about. Is I think it's been a trend for a while now on the interwebs, and it is a kind of a hear me out, which is a reference to just, you know what? Hey, this person, this thing, this object, this idea, it's kind of doing it for me. Hear me out. It's
Yep.
kind of doing it for me in whatever way that means. it's take it for whatever how you want to take it. Because I don't think there's an actual. I'm gonna say I don't think it's necessarily sexual. It can be for some, but
It
like
can be.
it's like an
I have some that are.
yeah, sure. But it's like an underlying sexual feeling, but it doesn't have to be like I'm actively turned on by this one thing. That face Danny just made, hear me out. That was it.
Also, hear me out, Danny. There was a tape measure at one point, and that was a hear me out for me.
Always have a tape measure.
There he is. Ooh,
At
that's
any point.
at least 4.5 inches.
It's a 25-footer, actually.
Hey, real quick. You listening? Cool. Do me a favor. On your app, wherever you're listening to this podcast, there's a button to follow or subscribe or some sort of a notification type bell. Whatever you do, don't click them. Don't click those buttons. Don't do it. Or click it. Whatever it doesn't matter. Just fine. It's fine. It's fine. Just click it. It's cool. Just do whatever you want. Preach.
All right, so hear me outs. I think my first one, surprise poops.
Mm.
When you weren't expecting to go when you're peeing and then you're like, hold on. Yep. Here's the poop. Here she comes.
I would agree. The only scenario where a surprise poop, well, actually, there's two. There's two scenarios where surprise poop is not
Right,
a good
I know what
thing.
you're about to say. Yeah, there's several scenarios where a surprise poop is not a good
There's the after shower poop, surprise poop.
Yeah, no, we don't like that one.
No. And then there's at least for me, as somebody who's like on the road a lot, when I have to poop and I can't find a place where I know it's going to be comfortable.
Yeah,
like if it's a restaurant or a bar where I know the bathroom is good, but if I'm on the road and I'm like, I got to stop at a gas station and I don't know this gas station or what their
it's not a QT or a racetrack.
level of cleanliness is. But for the most part, when I'm at home and I'm like, oh, I get a surprise poop out of this.
Yeah, let me clarify.
Let's go.
So Drew, before he came on to the show, he said, I went to go pee and then it turned into a surprise poop. That's the surprise poop I meant. The like unexpected but like welcomed poop. That's the surprise poop I meant, not I trusted a fart a little too much and it was a surprise. That's not okay. The welcomed, I'm already in the bathroom surprise poop. You're up.
Dustin Hoffman in Hook as Hook.
Okay. Yes.
Hear me out.
Hear me out. Yes.
Hear me out. He's just got that, like, he's wearing a wig. He's got a hook hand. He's in that formal dress and he's got Shmi as his servant.
Bro. He's got the smile for it.
And the tick with the mustache and everything. And mustaches honestly don't do anything for me. But something about the way he carries himself in that movie, just hear me out, bro.
Yeah, I get it. Hear me out. And this one's probably a little common. Green M&M.
Yeah.
Does it for me.
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing.
With and without the shell.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like, just I'm the persona, the idea, the riz that is the green M&M. She knows what she's doing. I'm here for it. Hear me out. Also, before we keep going, why is it a cake in all of the other iterations of this? At least anytime when I was showing Rebecca, I was like, "Do you know what this trend is?" And she's like, "I have no clue. What the hell are you talking about?" I'm like, "Here, this is what Hear Me Out is." And she's like, "Why are they all putting it into a cake?" And I'm like, "Honestly, I don't know."
Oh, I don't know exactly why. I think it's
just a place to hold the character or the thing, but like,
and they have them like on the sticks.
Yeah.
and they put them in, and just, yeah, I did the whole motion.
But you had to hold. Yeah, you did that. Yeah. And
Um,
this one,
yep,
put it
yep, yep,
in,
yep.
put it into the
For
cake.
our listeners, not our viewers, which we don't have any. Uh,
Shush. Yeah, I don't know where the cake came
I,
from.
I I honestly don't know why. Honestly, that is a hear me out. Is the
Cake.
trend of people sitting on cakes?
Sitting on cakes.
It's a whole
Yeah,
genre,
I remember.
and it's not like super hot. Doesn't interest me in a sexual way, but like, and it's not just cakes, but like people just like smashing food, or like stepping on things that explode or
Mm,
burst.
yes.
I don't know what that feeling is of like things squishing in general. I think that's probably what it boils down to, is like things squishing
So you're
like
a
in your hand.
pimple popper.
I, for some reason, that show gets me.
Yep. Is that a hear me out though? Pimple popping specifically, or just the sensation of popping? Because
No,
I have bubble wrap on my list.
it's not just like the, because that's more like a bubble wrap's like a violent pop, and I think pimple popping is a violent pop, but it's more the smoosh, or
Mm,
like if you
yeah,
grab something like a banana, if you grabbed a banana, an unwrapped banana in your hand and
mm,
just
got it.
squished it, that feeling of something like between your hands, or like mud, is
Got it.
a big hear me out.
Mine was the bubble wrap, the violent pop, the like someone cracking their neck, someone cracking their back. Like I want all of it.
Mm,
I want all of that. The pops, the not my knees because my knees pop and it's not in a good way, but all of the other intentional,
yeah,
violent pops I'm here
a
for.
good, like, I can crack my knuckles and my neck pretty much all the time, and like toes and knees. Any of those are just, I
Yeah.
don't know if you can hear it on the,
Oh, we can come through loud and clear.
just, and it feels so good.
But yeah, I put bubble wrap because that got me through some tough times in high school. Whatever you want that to mean, it means that. Innocent, sure. Okay, so hear me out. This is a this is a feeling, this is a mood, this is a an aura kind of, but the start of Major League Baseball spring training.
Hmm.
It's
Okay.
kind of
Okay.
like that beginning of spring. You can roll the windows down. It's a little cool outside still. You can turn it up on the radio. There's no pressure in the game. A lot of times the guys are just kind of like messing around and they
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
really
yeah.
care what's going on. They're just there to get their BP in. They're there to like work on some pitches. They're just getting warmed up for the regular season. The announcers are having a good time. There's no like stakes to it at that point, and it just reminds me of like all I want to do is go sit in the stands, grab a hot dog, and just watch a game and hang
Hmm.
out.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so, and that's
Dip your chicken
specifically
tenders in Coke.
in some Coke, yeah, specifically the start of spring training, not the end of spring training. And there's a difference because the end of spring training,
That's when it gets a little more serious.
that's when pollen starts showing up.
The pollinating.
And I don't want the pollen. So it's that first
Hmm.
week of
Hmm.
spring training is like, yes, this is what I want. And then like 2 weeks later, it's like can't roll down the windows anymore. I'm gonna choke to death. So
Yep. Okay, hear me out. When you start up your NES or your N64 and you see the logo pop up and
hmm
it like rotates, like you either get the Nintendo rotating
hmm
or the N64 logo rotating, and you know you're about to play something, but
Okay.
it's always, doesn't matter what the game is, but you know that you're
Yep.
about to be in it, whether we're like,
Sega.
mhm.
Yep.
Anytime, because we don't get that anymore with modern consoles. I mean, you get like the Xbox logo or the PS4 logo, and like, but you don't get the same enjoyment out of it as you do
Because it just
every
kind of like
single
takes you to the home screen first before you have to start the game.
yeah,
You're kind
and
of just jumping right in.
or you're in the like user interface.
Right.
Like looking at my Xbox right now, I've got, the games channel and the store and all those different things, but you don't get the I just started this game up. It's specifically this game, and I know that it's on this console. So anytime like that Nintendo is rotating on the screen, that for me, especially because we've had so many good times with especially N64.
We would fall asleep to it's
Mhm.
not the beginning logo, but we would finish a game of Mario Kart and no one would be able to get up and turn it off. And so
Yep.
it would just be playing. And we just fall asleep in Danny's basement with that. I actually mentioned this. Was this two? I think this was 2 episodes ago from the time of this recording. Hear me out. Aunt Cass from Big Hero 6. The aunt.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
I would
Disney
put any Disney slash DreamWorks
mom.
mom
Yeah.
slash female figure
Yeah. Elastigirl.
could be up there.
Yeah. Well, not any because a lot of times Disney likes to kill off the mom.
But just in general, like the
Yes.
presence
Yes.
of that person, yeah, I'm here for that. Oh, what's another good one? I feel like this one's a little more well known while I think of some other ones, but Venom.
Venom?
Yeah, Venom kind of does it for
Hmm.
me.
Hmm.
Just as a not Peter Parker inside of him, but just
Not
as
what
his,
about Eddie Brock?
not even Eddie Brock, but just as the symbiote
Okay.
and his like symbiote form.
And
God,
you're talking about the Venom one specifically, not like
not
uh
Carnage.
Carnage or any of the other
Yeah, no. Because Venom's
okay.
got a little bit of that, like he's a he's a bad
Sarcasm.
boy and he's sarcastic. He's got a little bit of the, like Deadpool vibe to him.
He does. That's true.
Um, but also you can't tell if he's not good, but he's not bad. He's just kind of his own
Hmm.
thing.
Yeah.
And then the physique that they always give him is always pretty phenomenal.
He got some traps.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I also, while I was on the way up to record this, I thought of a different way to take this, and maybe we can start a trend. The opposite of hear me outs would be like icks, right? Things that are
Mm-hmm.
icks, but like ideas or things that are icks, not necessarily people. And I think, biggest ick, the thing that just pissed me off tonight was that bag of animal crackers just decided to continue to rip down the sides.
Oh yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
like any chip bag, any cracker bag, when you open it up and it just doesn't stay open just at the top, and it just get that one little tear, and anytime you go in, it just carries a little bit more, and now it's the whole thing spilling out. And it's a family size bag of animal crackers, so I had to go get another Ziploc bag to like put them all in. I had to go get a gallon bag to put all the animal crackers in, or else they're just it's just sitting in it as an open bag. So the thing that just I will say grinds my gears, it gives me the ick, is just when a chip bag opens more than you meant it to open.
I think for me that would be in the similar vein when I put something into a Ziploc bag
Oh, and you can't close it.
and either you can't close it or it's got some like liquid in there and it has a hole in it. And you're
Yes.
like, what the fuck is the point of the Ziploc bag if it is just like leaking? That is the whole point of you, because I didn't want to use Tupperware.
Hmm.
I didn't want to, put you in a bag inside of a bag inside of a bag. That was your purpose, was to hold this and not actually leak everywhere.
Yeah. I'm on board with that. Ladies and gentlemen, Benjamin Trimmer has joined the chat. Benjamin Trimmer,
Hi.
what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a watered down margarita. with like a half a shot tequila because I have to wake up in like 6.5 hours.
Fair enough. We're gonna keep this quick. I'm not gonna say we're gonna end soon, but we're probably towards the end of the episode at this point. But Ben, we're talking about um specifically right now things and concepts and ideas that give us the ick. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean
I
when I say
do.
the ick. Yeah.
Hmm.
But before that we were talking about, do you know the hear me out trend?
I don't.
That was a that is a trend of people saying, "Hear me out. This insert person thing
Oh
idea
yeah.
is attractive or sexual in some way."
Gotcha.
And so we were saying things like the green M&M, bubble wrap, baseball spring train. Those are sexy to me. Drew had some other ones. I moved on to X just now, where I said when you open up a chip bag and it just tears too much
No.
down the side, and like now you have to like this, you got to hold it in a like it with your open palm, and you have to eat it out of the bag. Unless you do that on intentionally, which in case that's fine. But like if you just want the top open and
Yeah.
they just all spill out everywhere, that's my
Yeah.
ick.
I've got an ick. You
I'm
ever
gonna
go
wake up in
grocery?
6 hours.
Yeah, that's ick. All right, you ever go grocery shopping
Yes,
and you buy like chicken breasts and
yes.
you get home and you've got some of that chicken breast slime coming out
Mm,
of the package all over like the Publix or Kroger bag or whatever it is, and you realize that it's been leaking. Like that to me is an ick. Like I know the chicken breast is still good, but it's exposed, it's open, it's leaking. Like
yeah.
that's nasty. Like what?
That's a literal and a metaphorical ick for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's just off the cuff. Let me keep thinking.
No, I love that.
No, yeah, I'm down for that. Anytime I buy meats at the grocery store and like because I like to go through the self checkout so I know how it's being put into the bags. But anytime I go through the checkout line and they're like just put it into something random and I'm like, oh, but wait, I don't want the chicken to, spring a leak or like tear a hole, whatever else is in that bag with it.
Yeah.
Or
Wrap the
if they
raw
like,
stuff up separately.
yeah. And I'm one of those people nowadays where I like to bring my own reusable bags.
Proud of you.
But every once in a while, I will just bag the chicken or the meat or
Mhm.
whatever it is separately in a plastic bag just to make sure it's not going to get over everything else. So yeah, I'm here for that.
The only other hear me out I had was a getting a strike while bowling. Just that perfect ball arc crashing into the pins. Not like an unintentional, like when you know you just like you released it and it's going and it's
And you
going.
can
You
like walk
know,
away.
yeah, you're gonna watch it because it's that beautiful. But it's like when you just leaves your hand and you're like, that's a strike. I got it.
Hmm.
It's a great feeling.
I would even say on top of that, when you get the turkey, the triple strike,
Hmm.
and you get the animation,
Yes.
like that old school animation of them knocking the turkeys down. Really, any of the old school like bowling animations that they don't
Mm.
really use anymore.
Hmm.
So are we looking for good hear me outs?
Hear me outs are good, icks are
Okay.
bad.
Gotcha.
Whichever one you
Yeah.
got, just throw. I was just taking it
Ah.
a different
Yeah.
direction
And
because we
No, that's
were.
good. That's good because I thought hear me outs were bad, and then you were just talking about a good one, so I was
well,
confused. So that yeah.
so hear me outs are like this is kind of a hot take of like I find this not even sexual, but like
Uh,
pleasing in a
Satisfying.
I
way
get it.
that other people would not get. So it's like, hear me out on this. Whereas
Gotcha.
ick
Let me
is
try to
like this,
convince you.
yeah.
Gotcha.
So, like an old one, Ben, no one uses anymore because everyone. It's Velma used to be a big "hear me out," right?
Oh yeah.
Right.
That's not even a hear me out. That's a
But
that's
like,
a bona fide fact.
right. But I'm saying that was a big one in the beginning. Oh, just people were like, oh, wait, no, Velma is attractive. Hear me out. Hold on. It's that kind of thing of like, you wouldn't normally expect this. It's not necessarily an unpopular opinion in like that it's bad. It's an unpopular opinion in that just no one necessarily shares that opinion with you at the time because they hadn't been convinced otherwise.
I'll give you one that I'm kind of stealing, but I feel it fully. The alien from Aliens.
See, I don't get that one.
I I don't know what it is. It does something for me.
Where if I'm also going to steal one, the TA-84 does it for me.
See, that's funny because
Yeah,
I
I'm a
would.
TA-83 man myself.
Sure, I
But if we're
like
just
to
going on graphing
graphing
calculators in
calculator.
general, see, I have this memory in my head of playing Tetris on my TA-83 in math class because I wasn't paying attention.
Mhm.
And my teacher, who was a fucking badass, this was Trig 3 back in probably junior year. And the teacher came up to me and was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, I just had no answer for her. And so she took my calculator, pressed like 4 buttons, and deleted everything on my, like, set it back to zero. So like all of my Tetris games, all of my like what was the other one that I was playing on that, like
The brick dude.
the brick one, like deleted everything, so I had to go back and re-download them, which back in the day, that was pre iPhone days.
Yep.
So it was actually a thing to get somebody who had the games installed
And
and
had the
actually
cable.
and the cable to connect them and then re-download them. So yeah, it was a fucking thing. So I've got a little bit of PTSD around the TA-83s.
Totally get it. Okay, hear me out on this one. This is one that doesn't get used very often, but for me, it fucking elevates you to like that next level of class is the tie clip. Like,
Okay.
I really appreciate someone
Hmm.
who can wear a strong tie clip. You know,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
do think it pulls a whole look, a whole suit together. Um, and you just don't see it very often, but like I like
Yeah.
it.
I like that one.
Honestly, Ben, I'm kind of with you on the whole formal wear accessories with like the like
Cufflinks.
pocket squares and cufflinks, anything that like sets you apart
Hmm.
and gives you that little bit of zhuzh if you're
Yeah.
out and about, wearing the whole thing.
Yeah.
As long as it's a complimentary accent and not screaming at me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be muted, right? I'm not it doesn't have to be like dull colors or something, but like
Yeah, just a simple
if you have
like
a black suit, white shirt, black tie, and then like a yellow and purple pocket square, it's like, what are you doing?
Hmm.
That's the opposite. But if you want to do the pocket square, if you want to have the tie clip, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Understated. Like I have a tie clip that's bright gold, but I only wear that on like Florida State game days. I'm not gonna wear that to work.
Right.
But like okay, so I have a lot of collared shirts and I have metal stays, so the things that like make the collar more straight.
Yeah.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I put those in. You don't know they're there, but it
Oh, dude,
slightly
shirt
elevates the
stays.
collar.
Give me
Yeah.
a shirt stay any day.
Hmm.
Yeah. 100%.
Hear me out.
Hear me out.
Awkward silences.
I
Underappreciated.
love awkward
I
silences.
love awkward silences.
I love breaking awkward silence.
I like, see, I'm the opposite, Ben. I like sitting in it until the other person feels like they have to break it because I'm very comfortable in silence.
Yeah, me too.
So when like I was in the car with my boss not long ago, and we were just driving, probably spent like 4 hours in the car together, and we had music and whatever, but we were like not talking a fuck ton. And then eventually we were like, do you want to like talk about something? He's like, no, I'm kind of just good with the silence. And I was like, I appreciate you so much more for that because I don't need chit chat. I don't need
Mm-hmm.
the like random topics of conversation. I love that if we're both here for it. But if there's the opportunity for us to just sit in absolute silence and like
But that's
listen to
just
some music,
silence. I'm talking the awkward. I like the awkward silence because
that's fair.
that has the tension around it, and that's what I like.
Like you're talking to someone and then neither one of you can leave, but the conversation just died.
That, or if I hit just a dynamite segue and
Mm.
just that one, yeah,
Has it ever happened?
all day, every day. That's all I know how to do.
Mm.
Let's do a couple more. We'll call it a day. Hear me out.
Black t-shirts. Hear me out.
Black
I'm just
t-shirts
straight up
on you or on anyone?
on Danny.
Specifically Danny. Yeah, but he's got the wide necks. He likes those wide neck black
I
t-shirts,
don't
and
There.
I
think
don't
I've
like.
seen Danny in anything but a black t-shirt in 20 years.
Yeah,
Uh,
he used to wear the deep
so
V's though. The deep V's. I
Mm,
remember that he
fair,
went through a V phase.
fair.
well now he's got the wide collar, so it's kind of both.
The can I give you guys an ick? Is the wide collar? I don't like that. I don't like the wide collars too much.
I appreciate the deep V, honestly.
I don't mind the deep V. I don't like the wide collars.
Shows off a little bit of the chest hair.
Yeah,
I don't know. I like the wide collar. I'd switch to that sometime after college. I switched to black wide collar. I'm not saying Danny was an influence, but it was probably around the time where we were hanging out a lot. So
I'm sure Danny's a trendsetter.
He does live out in LA. They're about 4 hours earlier than we are, so
mm,
Wait a minute. Trying to think of something else really satisfying, like just that just does it, you know?
I kind of want more like people slash characters.
Someone said Ghostface from Scream. That kind of probably fits into your Alien a little bit.
Uh,
Like
he's not a hear me out though.
it's in the same vein though. Like,
I
but
honestly I would give other horror movie villains a hear me out before I would give Ghostface.
but like this person
Like
said,
I would give, for me personally, I would give Michael Myers a hear me out
mm,
mm.
before I gave Ghostface.
I'd give Ghostface over Michael Myers.
Mm.
But like,
I'm thinking like, okay, here's my hear me out. Eve from Wally.
yes, that is a good
That is
example.
a hear me out. The Cheeto cheetah
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
All right,
that
give
fucking does it for
me
me.
Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast.
Okay. Yes.
Bring
Bro,
Yes.
yes.
charisma, like just is suave.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, brings it all, man.
See, I would be on the Cogsworth side of that.
I'm okay.
Like,
That's fine. That's
no, I
it.
like both are hear me outs for me.
Yeah.
Cogsworth does it a little bit more, but Lumiere is just like he's got that joie de vivre,
Mm.
sort of charisma that's just like, yeah, absolutely. I'd be there.
Yep. That's a good pick.
Let's
Uh,
fucking hang out.
I don't know if this is necessarily needs to be a hear me out, but it hasn't been mentioned in any of the other threads that I've looked up. But the sunflower from Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
It's been too
The
long.
I mean, I haven't played that game in
It's
2 decades, but
it's got gigantic, I guess, boobs. I don't know what they are because it's a flower. And the bees are constantly pollinating her. Hint,
mhm,
hint,
mhm.
wink, wink.
Oh
And
God, yeah, she does have gigantic
Yeah,
stem things.
yeah. Again, I may.
That's a big tail of yours. It's far too tickly. That's something she said. I think another one for me would be Shadow
Yeah,
from the Sonic
oh yeah,
franchise. Like
100%
classic.
Sonic's cool, Tails is all right, but Shadow's a fucking badass.
badass. Have you seen
Bad, and
Sonic
I
3
know
yet?
I haven't. No, I haven't.
So good.
And I need to because it's Keanu, isn't it, that
It's
voices him?
Keanu. He does a great
Um,
job, man.
which I love Keanu, but he's not even hear me out. Keanu's just
He's just a daddy.
He's just Keanu.
Keanu.
Yeah.
But in general, like a lot of the games that he's in, he's like that alternate kind of dark vibe, whereas Sonic and Tails are usually the you know solidly good side.
Nice. Love the shadow pick. Can we do villains?
Yeah, of course.
Can you do what?
Villains.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't
Hint.
know how people are gonna take this, but Heath Ledger is the Joker, man. Like that
Yeah.
was
Yes, Honda P.
it was hard not
Dude,
to
good
root
pick.
for him.
Yeah,
Hard not to root for him. I mean, he was a terrible villain, but still.
no,
I like
good
that a
because
lot.
I mean he was so charismatic
Mm.
and
You just love
felt
the
like
character. Yeah.
felt like he was in control the whole time, even though it was such chaos.
hmm
Yeah, no, I'm down for that. I'd put Sully from Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
Sully, not Randall,
out
because I
there.
keep seeing Randall on there.
Yeah,
Oh, fuck
I
Randall.
don't get Randall.
I like
Yeah,
Randall.
This list is it is a little unhinged. The one that caught my eye was Frylock from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
uh-huh. Fry like on top, rock you like a cop.
That one was funny. And
Watch it up
then
next, going out now.
Flo from Cars.
Did anybody
She's got that tramp stamp.
did
See,
Oh,
I
anybody
no,
was
no, no,
say
Flo. I'm sorry, that's not Flo. Flo is the she's got the gas station.
I was
The
thinking Flo from the
progressive commercials.
commercials. Yeah,
I
which
go yeah, that works. Yeah, sure.
maybe honestly a little bit, and I don't want to admit that, which is maybe the point of it.
Did anybody say Li Shang yet from Mulan, or is that too obvious?
It's too he's classically
All right, too obvious.
yeah.
Yeah. I figured. I'm gonna go back to Ix.
Who's the villain from Mulan?
Uh,
The
The
Emperor dude.
Hun.
The Hun, yeah.
Shan
Shan
Yu.
Yu, Shan Yu.
Shan Yu
Yeah.
is a absolute hear me out. He's got that fucking falcon. Ugh.
Yeah.
Speaking of, that's give me Scorpion. Hear me out, Scorpion
Oh
from Mortal
yeah.
Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Yeah.
always more of a Sub-Zero guy, but I'm good with either.
But like for the hear me out
Yeah, they hear
part,
me out. Yeah.
give me
Yeah.
Scorpion.
Yeah. That's fair.
Oh, that's even a Disney villains would be just an absolute fantastic.
A Disney villain attractiveness ranking is what we need to do. Is that
Yes.
what you're saying?
Okay, Yzma is at the very, very bottom.
Disney villain. All right, Ben, you have any more X before we close this out? I'll give you like a couple minutes.
No, but hear me out about Kronk. Kronk from
Yes.
Emperor's New Groove. Yeah.
Yep.
The poison. Couscous poison.
Such a good character.
Oh my god, he's so good. God, I need to rewatch that movie. It's been a long time.
We watched it like a few months ago with my nieces, man. And honestly, the adults were laughing more than they were. So
It is a hidden gem.
yeah.
I mean, honestly, just that whole movie in general is like you just say the movie.
Yeah.
Hear me out. On that note, we're going to end this episode because I'm tired. And you can follow us on all the social medias at @the_bar banter, except for Blue Sky, where we're just the bar banter, I think. New episodes every Wednesday. Link in the description to support the podcast. Like and subscribe. That's the other one. And just remember, this is our podcast, and you're just along for the ride.
Stay drinking.